Hey there, Cappy. This is the Scorpio Stellium. We're going to take a look at the week of November 29th. We're working into the first week of December now. So it's 2020. It's finally over. Let's hope next year is better. I hope everybody is listening to, as soon as December hits, you're listening to Counting Crows along December. It's so fitting. Okay, and then at the end of this reading, I'm going to do a pick a card for what you really, really need to hear, what you really, really need to know. Let's see what we've got for you. I'll tell you what I've got. I've got cat hair. Cat hair everywhere. I'm fostering 4 kittens, plus I have my own kitten, and there's just kitty everywhere. Kitty, kitty, kitty. All right, what do we have? So, reverse 3 of Wands, Page of Pentacles, reverse King of Swords. You're trying to figure out how to move forward. And that's what's happening here because you got somebody who's shutting you out. With this, I'm going to find that hair eventually. With this reversed King of Swords, this is somebody who's giving you like the cold shoulder. This is an energy of, you know, reserved. They're not being affectionate. They may be playing you hot and cold. And you're sitting here, the Page of Pentacles, trying to figure out how to, 3 of Wands, how to move forward because you don't feel like there's a way forward. You're looking at the future and you're going, well, that didn't pan out. What do I do now? Then this next line, showing the 7 of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Judgment card. You know, this feels to me like a fantasy that you have. This idea of the person is not really who the person is. I think you see glimpses of that, who you want them to be, and that's what you love. But, you know, love is not about loving somebody for parts of them. It's about loving all of them. And there are parts of this individual that you really don't love, that you really don't like tolerating, and you're putting up with it because of how good it can be for the fantasy, for the idea of them. The Queen of Cups shows your emotional state in this. It's like you want to nurture this person. It's like there's almost a feeling of like you can fix them or they can fix you. There's some kind of comfort that goes along with it. It feels good. You know, a lot of times what we have the hardest time breaking away from is the things that feel good. And I'm not saying you should break away from it necessarily. I'm just telling you where I think you're at. And then having the Judgment card at the end, it's how are you going to bring this back to life? How are you going to like CPR this relationship? You know, you mean like pumping the chest, singing "Staying Alive." If you're not in the medical field or you don't know what I'm talking about, just move on. But you know, it's like that's what we do. We count the rhythm, staying alive. You know, 100 beats per minute. So that's what you're sitting here trying to do. You're trying to like get this energy, this life back into this relationship. You're trying to pull it back up by collecting yourself emotionally. And I think you're blaming yourself. You're probably putting a lot of this on you. Maybe you're like, maybe I'm being too emotional. Maybe there's something wrong with me. You're doing this self-assessment because you can't change them. And what happens a lot of times is while the healthy energy of that is, I can't change another person, so I'm going to work on me. That's fine. But when somebody is not doing that in reciprocity for you and you're the only one, you're like, well, I can't change them. You know, I've tried and tried and tried. And so now I'm just going to bend myself to fit so that this can still work or have some sort of pseudo relationship. It doesn't really go that way, right? That's not a healthy thing to do. The next line here, the Hierophant, the 9 of Pentacles, and the Fool. Now, normally I see the Hierophant as being commitment. And I think you're not getting the commitment. I think you're looking for the commitment because next to it is the 9 of Pentacles, which is showing me that, you know, you're alone. You're not with your person. You don't have your person, not in that commitment that you want. So it's not showing me that, oh yeah, you're getting the commitment. It's like, well, okay, this is what I'm aiming to do. And then the Fool at the end, I think that you play the fool in this. And I think you know it. I don't think that this is some like deceptive thing that you have not figured out within yourself before. You've never looked at it before. I think that you're pretty well aware of what your cycle is and what you do. And you're like, You just continue to jump off the cliff. No matter how many times you fall down in that fucking ravine and break your leg, you keep doing it. So let's go ahead and do some clarification on these cards and see what else we get. Let's go ahead and start with the first line here that's talking about how you're trying to figure out a way forward with somebody that is not, not giving you the warmth. Okay, 8 of Swords, here you are. You're stuck in your head. You feel very trapped by this because you're emotionally trapped. You're not actually trapped in it, but you feel very emotionally trapped. And here's 4 of Cups. So this is showing that you are feeling pretty lethargic. You're worn out with it. You're getting to a point of apathy where you just don't want to do anything about it. But I think the longer you try to do, I think you try to get into these states where you don't do anything about it, and then you get frustrated. So then it's like this perpetual cycle. You're very stuck in your head. Reversed High Priestess, there is some deception going on there on somebody's part. There's some secrets at play. All parties don't know all the information. Let's go ahead and look down at your emotional state and what you're trying to do. You living in this kind of ideology of what you think this relationship could be hypothetically if all of these conditions were met. All the conditions are not being met. So have they ever really been all met? Probably not. Again, 7 of Swords, deception. Although I think that you have some awareness of what the deception is. I think you have a lot of awareness about all of this. You realize that this isn't fair. There's justice. It's not balanced. There's something that is, somebody's getting screwed. And I think you're one of those people who's getting screwed. And then the 10 of Wands. So this is like, how much longer can I carry this? How much longer can I put up with it? Because if you could just lay this burden down, you would run, baby. You would fly. You would be fine, right? You could totally climb that hill. But you have to carry all this on your back. And it makes you feel very, very trapped. Because like I said, you're locked into it emotionally. Okay, and this last line, we've got the 6 of Swords. You, again, trying to find progress, trying to find how to move out of this kind of situation and how to move into calmer waters. You don't know how to do that yet. That's the desire, though. The desire is certainly not to stay stuck. And so there's a lot of mental activity with the 6 of Swords of you trying to figure out how to go and be your own person. But the thought, honestly, of being your own person without them really, really hits you wrong. You just, you don't like it. You don't like it at all. The Tower. So this is where I'm going to stop this part of the reading before I do the pick a card. I feel like this is where I would stop anyway, but I'm definitely going to stop when I come to the Tower at this point in the reading, because this is showing me that where you're headed, where you're going with this is going to lead in Tower energy. The Tower is associated with the planet Mars. It is the warrior planet. It's how you fight. It is this lay everything bare, it shakes you up. It's a big change. It comes as a shock. It can completely just pull the rug out from under you. And this is where it's going. I think that eventually how this situation is going to pan out, because you won't make a choice, is that a choice is going to be made for you. And usually we don't like when that happens. So that's where I'm going to stop. I don't like being like doom and gloom about it, but I think that if you resonate with this reading, you already kind of know. You already know the deal. If you don't resonate with this reading, just remember you also have other signs that may show up stronger in your chart. So, go to a website like astro.com or any astrology calculator and check your moon and your rising sign videos as well. Let's go ahead and do your pick a card, what message you need to hear this week. And drop me a comment. Say hello. I always respond to my comments. I love hearing from you guys. And we've got 1, 2, and 3. So you can pause if you need to, but I'll go ahead and jump into it. So card 1 is the 6 of Wands. This is a victory. This is you achieving some kind of success. Now, I don't know where that success is being found in. Hopefully it's being found in, the relationship that we just looked at, but it is some kind of success that's coming your way. So that's a positive thing. This week, I think you're going to get a win. So for card 2, I have reversed faith, which in this deck is the same as the Hierophant. So what we're seeing here is a lack of commitment. you're not getting that commitment. We've already talked about it. We already know it. You already know it. You can't get this person to shore up and say, yes, it's you. Unequivocally, it's you. And this is what you're struggling with. It's going to be very, very heavy in your mind and in your life this week. And then for card 3, actually very positive card, the Sun. You've got something really positive coming in. You've got a good mood going on. You've got a good attitude. Things feel quite happy and content for you. So just bask in that. This is a yes answer card too. So if you're asking yourself, is such and such going to happen this week? This is definitely the card that it says, yes, 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 it is. So thank you so much for watching, Capricorn. I will see you again next week.